Let me share the screen. Okay, fine. So this was about gain ratio, which we discussed into our earlier lecture. Now we'll be discussing about Gini index. Now, actually, this Gini index is used in CART method. So in the CART method, we discussed there are three: ID3, C.4.5, and CART. All three uses three concepts. The first one, information gain by ID3, then C4.5, so in gain ratio, and CART, so Gini index. Now, what actually Gini index? Gini index is basically focusing on creating binary trees. In previous two methods, emery tree was getting generated. Over here in Gini index, for sure we'll be getting binary tree. So the concept of CART basically focus on the binary tree generation for any kind of decision tree. So we always have binary tree, which makes the computer programs for easier to implement. So that's why Gini index concept was introduced. And what actually Gini index is? It is basically calculated as 1 minus probability raised to 2. So probability square, where m is the number of classes. And it's very simple. Probability of I means the value belonging to the class of tuples, that is data set, divided by total number of records. So this can be written as 1 minus summation I running from 1 to m, C of ID, that means number of tuples for that particular value, divided by total number of tuples. So that is what we get Gini. Now, basically over here, we want to create binary tree. So we will be always having two branches. We cannot have more than two branches. Always it would be having less than or equals to two branches. So how to do that? So how to create that? So for that, we need to first of all create the subsets. Coming to that part, see, Gini index considers a binary split. It never goes for more than more than two splits. It will be always having two or less than two. So consider the case where attribute A is the discrete valued attribute, having V distinct values. That means, say for example, if I talk of income, how many attributes for income? Values for income? 3. Income attribute has 3 values: low, medium, and high. Same way, if I talk of credit rating, then 2 attributes: one, fair, and second, excellent. So same way, A can have V number of values for that attribute. So we need to create all the possible subsets of them. So we need to examine all the subsets for that particular value of the attribute, which we represented by this way. Forms A belongs to subset of A. How? Let's see. For example, if income has 3 possible values, for example, if income attribute has 3 possible values, low, medium, and high, then possible subsets are low, medium, high, the first set, which we term it superset; low, medium, second subset; low, high, third subset; medium, high, low, medium, high, and empty set. So these are the subsets for this particular set. Now just can you let me know how many subsets are possible for n values? How many subsets for a given set is possible? How many subsets for a given set are possible? Just can you let me know? Anyone? Waiting for the answer. Huh? See, how many subsets for a given set are possible? This is our simple maths. Huh? I think everybody should reply. No one? No one wants to try? See, there are 2 raised to 3 possible, 2 raised to n subsets possible. So over here 3 values, so 2 raised to 3, so 8 possible subsets are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. But out of which, out of this all, we are supposed to exclude 2. We are supposed to exclude 2. Means which are the 2? The superset and empty set. We need to exclude the 2, superset and empty set. So can I say remaining will be 2 raised to v minus 2? V means number of possible values. So 2 raised to v minus 2 are the possible subsets. So based on individual subsets, based on the individual subsets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, we would be computing some value. So over here, there we can have possible 2 splits only. We can have possible 2 splits. Which 2 splits? We'll be checking. Whose Gini index will be lower? That split will be taking out. Let's see how. So now we need to have the computed value. So for example, we need to compute the Gini for individual attribute. We need to compute the Gini for individual attribute. Over here income. So we need to compute the income Gini for the income. So over here it is given as, say for example, our partition for A. For attribute A, if our total partition D is divided into 2 parts, D1 and D2. So the Gini index is given as D1 by D, Gini of D1 plus D2 by D, Gini of D2. Now Gini, we know how to calculate Gini. The formula for Gini is given as 1 minus probability square, where the possible values are there for that particular class. So over here, how it goes to subsets. So for discrete value attributes, the subset that gives minimum Gini index for that attribute is selected as splitting subset. See over here, we will be continuing with the same example for 6. This possible 6 values will be computing. Let's see how. So considering this is our example, we are continuing with the same example. So in that case, for bias computer, we are having 9 tuples out of all, and for bias computer, no, we are having 5 tuples. So Gini for the complete data set D is given as 1 minus 9 by 14 square minus 5 by 14 square, which comes out to be 0.459. See Gini formula, 1 minus probability square for all the possible values. So 9 by 14, 5 by 14. So this becomes the Gini of the complete class for all the data set. So now we need to compute the Gini for individual attributes with their individual subsets. Now we need to compute the Gini for individual attributes for their individual subsets. So how come? So talking of income attribute, we are having 6 subsets. So out of those 6 subsets, we are considering the first subset to be low and medium. We are considering low and medium. So out of all 14 records, we need to find out the number of records out of 14 which belongs to low and medium income. So 10 tuples are there in partition D1 which satisfies the condition income belongs to low and medium. So 10 tuples are there. Let us see the example. This is the example for income, low and medium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 10 tuples are there. 10 tuples are there for which we are having low and medium value. So we need to compute the Gini for that first, low and medium. So let us compute how. So 10 tuples for income, low, medium. So out of 14, remaining 4 will be assigned to D2. So remaining 4 will be assigned to D2. And can you tell me from this, which are the 4? All for high income. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So rest 4 belongs to D2 set. So 4 tuples of D would be assigned to D2. So Gini value is computed based on that formula for income belongs to low medium is equals to 10 by 14 Gini of D1. See the previous formula, this formula. d1 by d into Gini of d1 plus d2 by d into Gini of d2. So let's check out. So Gini income for low medium of D is equals to 10 by 14 because 10 tuples for D1 into Gini of D1 plus 4 by 14 into Gini of D2. Now you are supposed to tell me, please tell me, what will be the formula for Gini of D1? Gini of D1 I want to compute. Gini of D1 means for low and medium. How many records are there? 10 records. There are 10 records for low and medium. For that we want to compute Gini, means Bayes computer yes and Bayes computer equals to no. That we want to compute. So it is given as, just check out this table for low and medium. For low and medium, how many are yes? Low and medium, how many are yes? Medium, yes 1. Low, yes 2. Then low, yes 3. Low, yes 4. Then 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 records which are yes. These are the 7 records which are yes for low and medium. And rest 3 are for no. So see, so Gini of D1 is given as 1 minus 7 by 10 raised to 2 minus 3 by 10 raised to 2 because 7 are for yes and 3 are for no. So this gives Gini of D1. Now D2 means 4 tuples which belongs to D2. That means they are for high. So check out for yes, no for high. See, Bayes computer, high record, no 1, 2, high yes 1 and high yes 2. So how it works? 2 for yes in high case and 2 for no in high case. So the formula for Gini of D2 becomes, so Gini of D2 becomes 1 minus 2 by 4 square minus 2 by 4 square. This is for yes and this is for no. So if you compute this, you get the value 0.443. So Gini for income belongs to low medium is 0.443. Now tell me, what if I compute Gini for income belongs to high? Can anyone tell me what will be the Gini for income belongs to high? Income belongs to high. So out of 14, 4 will be for high and rest will be for low medium. So income belongs to low medium. Sorry. Gini for income belongs to low medium will be equals to Gini for income belongs to high. So these two will be equal. So these two values will be equal. Just check it out. Over only the values will be interchanging. That's it, nothing else. Observe it very carefully. So it will be more clear if I move further. Is it fine? So what happens over here? Just check it out. Please observe it carefully. Gini for income belongs to low medium will be always equals to Gini for income belongs to high because it is another value other than this. So binary split. So this is a binary split. We would be splitting based on low medium and another split would be high. Another branch would be high. But no, we will not be following this formula. Just I am saying that we can split the node for this and this. So this would be one branch and this would be second branch. So let's move further. Now we need to compute the value for another subsets. Low medium, then low high and medium high. So we need to compute the value for Gini income belongs to low medium, which we computed. Same way we need to compute it for low high and medium high. See, the Gini for income belongs to low high is given as 0.458. I have not given the calculation. The same way you can calculate it. So same way, the Gini for income belongs to medium high is nothing but equals to, same way I need to, is equals to income low, which is 0.450. Now over here I have not mentioned Gini for income belongs to medium. It is same. It is same for both. Let me mention it. It is nothing but equals to, sorry. So this is the scenario. So over here low high will be equals to medium, because the second branch would be, of course it will be medium. Same way, if it is medium high, then the second branch would be low. So the Gini value which we obtain for the Gini value which we just a minute. So Gini value which we obtain for income low medium is 0.443. Then for high also 0.443. Then low high and medium 0.458. Then medium high and low 0.450. So which is the smallest value will be taken as a split value. There we can do the branching. But still, this doesn't complete our task. We need to do it. We need to do it for age also. Same way like income, we need to compute it for age, credit rating, and we need to do it for age, credit rating, and which are the other attributes. We need to do it for age, income we did, student, and credit rating. This all three attributes we need to do it. So if you compute it there all the same, if you compute it all, what you will be getting is, see, this is what is the output. For if you compute it for age, for youth and senior, which is equals to middle aged, you will be getting 0.357. Then student, yes, no, you would be getting 0.367, because over here, see, yes, no, one subset. Then credit rating, fair, excellent, 0.429. There won't be another distribution. So you would be, it is a binary split. Gini for student and credit rating. It is, but naturally it would be a binary split. So there won't be a subset you need to consider. So only one subset is you will be considering, yes, no. So yes, no, branch and no branch. Over here, fair branch, excellent branch. So from above all, the Gini index of age is minimum, which results the binary split age belongs to youth senior. One split means one branch, left branch, and age belongs to middle age, that is second branch. So in this case, in case of card, if you use Gini index, then always you will be getting binary tree. Always remember you will be getting binary tree. And in other two, information gain and using gain ratio, you can have M array tree. Over here, only binary tree. So, but natural, we came to the conclusion. See, we came to the conclusion that we need to do the split for age. Why age? Because it has the lowest Gini index, 0.357. So over here, the Gini index split is to be carried out for lowest Gini index, whereas if you talk of gain ratio and information gain, we always do the split for the maximum value. Over here, minimum value. So that is again another difference. Are you all clear with this? So this completes our decision tree. Then we need to move on to the second classification method, that is Bayesian classification. Are you all clear with this? Please let me know. Are you all clear? Then only then I will be moving further with another method for classification. એટલે જ્યાં સુધી બધા આન્સર નહીં આપો ત્યાં સુધી આગળ મને નહીં ખબર પડે કે તમને આગળ વધવું કે ના વધવું એમ. So please at least reply to my questions. Okay then, let's move further. Bayesian classification. This method was given by the scientist Bayes, who gave this particular method for Bayesian classification. Over here, we will not be having any kind of tree. Over here, we will not be having any kind of tree. Always remember. But over here, we will be having the training set, and we will be having certain formulas based on the theorem provided by Bayes. We would be computing the values, and we would be having the probability that whether the class belongs to this particular model or not. So unseen data will be testing, and we can get it. Actually, this method is a statistical method. Bayesian classification method is a statistical method. It is not a tree-based method. It gives some, it calculates some statistics based on which we get the answer. So Thomas Bayes, who proposed the Bayes theorem, that's why the name given to it is Bayesian theorem. It is a statistical method and again supervised learning method for classification. It can solve problems involving both categorical and continued value attributes. See, categorical means value, fixed values. Yes, no. Credit rating, fair, excellent. Income, low, medium, high. And also continuous valued. Continuous valued means range. Marks between 70 to 90. Marks between 60 to 70. So continued values. So Bayesian classification is used to find conditional probabilities. So we'll calculate the conditional probabilities. The Bayes theorem is given as let X be the data tuple and H be some hypothesis such that the data tuple X belongs to the specified class. This H is what we want to compute. So this is our hypothesis. And Bayes theorem formula, we are not having the proof of this theorem, we simply need to have the formula. The Bayes theorem is given as probability of hypothesis belonging to X. Hypothesis for X equals to hypothesis, for probability of hypothesis belonging to X is equals to probability of X in hypothesis into probability of hypothesis divided by probability of X. So didn't got the values, didn't got the terms. Let's see one by one. See, PH of X means probability that a customer will buy a computer given that we know his age, credit rating and income. See, in this case, we are having three things: age, credit rating, income. Based on this, we need to find the probability that whether customer will buy a computer or not. That is what we want to compute. So that probability P of Hx is also termed as posterior probability of H. Because we are having this data, we are having this X tuple, data tuple, which consists age, credit rating and income. It is what we are having. And from that we need to decide whether he buys or not. So probability that customer will buy a computer given that we know his age, credit rating and income. So it is termed as posterior probability of H. Then second we are having is PH. So probability that customer will buy a computer. Simple. Probability that customer will buy a computer. But in this case, we are not checking for his age, credit rating and income. So regardless, we don't use these parameters for probability. We only use the parameter that this is the possibility based on our training set. And P of XH is termed as probability that the customer is 35 years old. See, age is given. Customer is 35 years old, have fair credit rating and earns $40,000 given that he has bought a computer. See over here, given that It is belonging to our training data set. This record is belonging to our training data set, and that is termed as posterior probability of X. Over here H, over here X. So don't confuse between these two. H in X and X having H. Over here it is pronounced as H in X. Over here it is pronounced as X has H. That means the person is 35 years old and has fair credit ratings and earns $40,000, buys a computer. Buys a computer. That is true. That is, it is available in our training data set. Whereas this is what we want to find. This is the record we are having. Age we are knowing, credit rating we are knowing, income we are knowing, but we don't know whether he is going to buy it or not. So that is what this we want to calculate. And this theorem gives this particular value. And lastly, Px is probability that a person from our set of customers is 35 years old, have fair credit ratings and earn $40,000. So this is termed as prior probability of X. See, over here we are not saying whether he buys or not. He can buy or he cannot. So that is P of X. So you should be clear with all four terms: P of Hx, P of H, P of XH, and P of X. Should I move further? Let us continue with the same example, and we want to calculate and we want to compute whether our algorithm works or not. It is a statistical method, so we need to compute it. We need to calculate certain probabilities. So how it can be done? Let's see. Say for example, this is the record for which we want to check. This is the record for which we want to check whether he buys our computer or not. His age is youth, income is medium, student is yes, and credit rating is fair. This is a tuple which we are having, that is unseen data. This is your unseen data which we want to check. Unseen data which we want to check. So how it will take place? So starting with probability that a person buys computer. Starting with the probability person buys computer. Person buys a computer, which is which is yes. So out of 14 records, we are having 9 people who buys a computer from the statistics given. How many yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 people buys computers, so that is the probability we have to find out of 14. And 5 people who doesn't buys a computer. So 9 of 14, so we get 0.643. And buys computer equals to no, 5 by 14, so 0.357. So now if I move further, see, now I have not clarified one term. I am coming to that term with respect to example. We want to compute this. See, we want to compute X for a hypothesis. That is what we need to check out. How can we do that? Fine. So coming to that part, till now you should be clear. Now for age, what is age given value? Youth. See, check it out. In our X tuple, X for hypothesis. See the notation. See, check the notation. X for hypothesis, tuple for hypothesis, individual tuple, individual attributes we need to check. In X, individual attribute in X we need to check. So how? So let's start with age. Age is youth and buys computer yes. So just check out the records. How many records are there with youth who buys computer? How many records are there for youth who buys computer? Youth who buys computer. Youth who buys computer. No, no. Then no. 3 no. 1 yes. 2 yes. 3 no and 2 yes. So 3 no and 2 yes. So youth for yes, 2, youth for no, 3. But why 9 and why 5? Because out of all the records, For yes, we are having 9. So 2 by 9. And out of all, we are having only 5 records for no, and out of which 3 are for youth. Out of 5 records for no, total records 14, out of which 5 are for no, and among them 5, we are having 3 for youth. So probability is 0.6 over a probability is 0.222. You should be clear with this term. Repeating this term again. For age equals to youth and bias computer yes, how many records are there? For youth, we are having 2 records. And yes, out of yes, for yes, we have 9 records. So probability is 0.222. Same way for youth, but does not bias computer. Youth, but does not bias computer. So there are 3 records for youth who does not bias computer. So 3 divided by 5. Why? Because total records for no are 5. So probability is 0.6. Now what is the second attribute after age? Income. After age, income. So just check out for income. Medium income. So again we will be doing the same thing. Medium yes, medium no. So income, medium yes, in medium no. So check out the records with medium. Check out the records with medium. Income. 1, yes 1. 2, no 1. So 1, 1. 3, yes. So, sorry. Income medium, yes 1, yes 2, yes 3, yes 4. So 4 yes for medium. And how many no for medium? 1 and 2. So how it will work? So medium 4 for yes and medium no 2. But yes 4 divided by 9. Why 9? Because yes records, total yes records are 9. That's why 4 by 9. And medium no 2 by 5 because only 2 are with income medium. There are 2 records with no. So 2 by 5. So probability we got for income. Same we need to find for student equals to yes. So just check out how many records are for student. Student with yes. Student with yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 yes. And how many bias computer out of this? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 yes for bias computer. 6 yes for bias computer. So check out. See 6 bias for computer. And who are not students? Only 1 record. Who says, sorry. Yes, student yes with 1 record who says no doesn't bias a computer. See, check out. Student with yes who says who doesn't bias a computer. See over here, this record. Student, yes, he is a student, but doesn't bias a computer. So no. Fine. So if you move still further, now the same thing is to be done for credit rating fair. So we need to find out the credit rating fair, the records with credit rating fair. How many records for credit rating fair? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 records. And out of these 8 records, how many are for yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of 8, 6 for yes. See, 6 for yes and 2 for no. So we got the probability. So we got the individual probability for age, income, student and credit rating. See, we are not supposed to do it for bias computer because that is what we want to find out. So the next step, hypothesis X bias computer yes is equals to, we need to multiply, see, for all whose value is yes, see, youth multiplied by income medium multiplied by student yes, see, student yes multiplied by credit rating fair yes. So these all values are to be multiplied for, because we want to go for X. All these attributes are given. We need to multiply them all. So X of H is given as individual attributes with their particular hypothesis multiplied by individual attributes. So age, income, student, yes. So we get the value to be 0.044. See, check out for age, youth, bias computer. So 0.222 multiplied by income medium with yes, so 0.444. Student yes, bias computer yes, 0.667 into credit rating fair. So into 0.667. So we get 0.044. So this is what we are getting. Similarly, we need to find for no. Probability of X buying computer no. Same way, we need to multiply all these values for no. See, we had multiplied for no. Youth, no, 0.6. Medium, no, 0.4. Yes, student, yes or no, 0.2. And fair, no, so 0.4. So we get 0.019. Now we will be multiplying the two. Which two? See, as per formula, see, this is the formula. P of xh, this is what we have obtained now. Multiplied by probability of hypothesis. Multiplied by the probability of hypothesis. So see, we have obtained the hypothesis. So x, bias computer yes, into bias computer. So 0.44 multiplied by 0.643. So we get 0.028. Same way for no, we need to multiply both. Same way for no. So bias computer no. So x with hypothesis, bias computer no, and all the records with bias computer no. So we get 0.007. So can you tell me whose value is higher? With probability yes or with probability no? Whose value is higher will be satisfied. So therefore, the naive Bayesian classifier predicts for this tuple x, that that person buys computer as the value for bias computer equals to yes is larger. See, this value is larger. If you can check out from this two, this value is larger than this. So that's why there is a possibility, there is a probability of buying a computer for youth. So for aged youth, with income medium, student yes, and credit rating fair. So this is the possibility. Now see, let us check out the accuracy now. Let us check out the accuracy. How to check the accuracy? Age youth, income medium, student yes, credit rating fair. Check out, huh? Age youth. So we'll sort out the records for youth. Then income medium. So income medium, youth with medium, income high, no. Youth with medium, yes, one medium, another medium, yes. So two records we had sorted. Then student yes. So out of this student yes. So youth medium, no, here is not student. Youth medium, yes, he is a student. And then what we need to check? Credit rating, fair. So credit rating over here, youth medium, no. So this record is deleted. We need to go for this record. Youth, medium, student, yes. But credit rating is not fair. Over here it is excellent. Then what we need to take care? But it's very simple. If he is a student, then he is going to buy a computer. Yes, we got the answer. So this is the accuracy which we got using naive Bayes classifier. So this is how you can predict, or this is how you can classify the records. Is it fine, everyone? So this is the naive Bayes. That's it. It's very simple. All of you. Hello all. Good afternoon all. Is everybody there? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. At least for some replies. Yes. Don't hesitate to reply, please. Don't hesitate. See, let us have a quick revision. Say, for example, I am having this tuple. I want to check whether this X buys computer or not. With age, youth, income, medium, student, yes, credit rating, fair. I am having this previous data set. As it is a supervised learning, we should have the data set. So then X, we are having the classifier to be bias computer or not. So yes or no. So we'll find the probability. Bias computer yes, bias computer no. Then we are having individual attributes: age, income, student, credit rating. So we would be computing individual attributes. So age for youth yes and youth no. But over here you need to remember these values y9 and y5, because yes are having total 9 records, that's why, and no are having total 5 records, so 5. So same way we need to go for medium. Medium yes, medium no. Then student yes, 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 no. Then credit rating fair. So fair yes, fair no. So we calculated individual probabilities. Then we need to put them in this formula. We need to multiply all for yes, and then all for no. So we multiplied them. And the answer which we get, we need to multiply it individually with yes for all records, that is this bias computer, and for all records which bias computer no. So no with no, yes with yes. So out of whichever is higher, that is our answer. So using naive Bayesian classifier predicts bias computer equals to yes, because this answer is higher than the second. Over here we are having only two answers, yes and no. But if it would have been a third possibility, then we need to do for all those three. Fine? All of you? So this is one example. See, another example which you are supposed to solve. This is an exercise for you. Car number is there, color of the car is there, type of the car is there, origin of the car is there, and stolen. We need to check whether car is stolen or not. Which car gets stolen? See over here, a car with color red, sports and domestic, it got stolen. Red, sports, domestic, stolen. So another record, same. You cannot say it is a duplicate record. You should not consider it to be a duplicate record. Fine. Then yellow, sports, imported, yes, it is stolen. Yellow SUV, imported, stolen. Yes. So in that case, if color is yellow and imported, then it will surely get stolen. See over here, from this record you can make out. But yellow color, SUV, domestic or imported, whatever it may be, it is not getting stolen. So SUVs are not getting stolen. See, yellow SUV are not stolen, but yellow sports are getting stolen. See, yellow and imported, stolen. Yellow, imported, stolen. Same for red also. There are two more records. So you need to check out. So for that, I want the answer for X with red color, type origin domestic, and type SUV. So you need to find out what you should get. See, I have given the direct answers. You need to compute them. You need to compute these answers based on this formula. See, you are having this X. This X you are having. What is your X? Red, domestic, SUV. Now for individual attribute, first for color, then type, then origin, you need to compute the probabilities. And then you need to multiply individual probabilities for yes and multiply the individual probabilities for no. And then you can get the answer. So stolen equals to yes, you will be getting this value for probability, and stolen equals to no, you should be getting this probability. Fine with this? So this is your exercise for you. You can compute. And we can discuss in our next lecture. Fine? Any doubts till now? Please. So this was the second classification method. The first was decision tree, second naive Bayes. Now the third what we are having is rule based. The third is rule based, which we will not discuss it today. Now I don't want to move at very high speed. We will be discussing it at medium pace. So today we stop here. Please, if you are having any doubt, please let me know. Please, any doubts? No doubts? I'm a little bit surprised. Okay then. So today we stop here. We'll be meeting into our next lecture and we'll be continuing for other two methods, that is rule-based classification and neural networks. Fine. Okay. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you for your comments. Fine. So put down your roll numbers, and today we stop here.